You hearing this? Woo! Kia ora, Jovial Entertainment film family. Are you ready for the third annual Top 10 Films, this time of 2018? And how about this for a day off? All right? Ferris Bueller, eat your heart out. Now, I want to start by saying that these are my personal. I don't speak on behalf of everyone in Jovial Entertainment. This is just. I mean, it's for everyone, but it's between you and I. You know what I'm saying? My number 10 is Bad Times at the El Royale. Now, this film, it's like one of those super slick, stylish films. It kind of reminded me of like a Tarantino-style film. Maybe not with quite the education on the dialogue as you might see in a Tarantino film, but it was still the same cool style. I loved the cinematography, the colors, the costumes. It was all great. The performances were all great. But yeah, it's just like a really cool crime thriller. This is from Drew Goddard, you know, who brought us Cabin in the Woods.
Are you even listening to me?
And you can see his little comedy moments in there as well. His little style is coming through.
It's a game. It all starts with a simple choice.
But yeah, I just thought it was a really cool film, really fun. You should definitely check it out if you haven't seen it already.
Shit happens. Get the whiskey.
Okay, my number 9 is Apostle, directed by Gareth Evans. Now, you know Gareth Evans from bringing us the Raid films, you know, the Raid 1 and 2. Some of my favorite films of all time, Kick-Ass. This takes a slightly different turn from what we might expect to see from him. It's super dark, atmospheric. It's set in the early 1900s. Kind of reminded me, vibe-wise, of The Witch, but just maybe a little more mystery to it. Dan Stevens is the main character, and he goes to this mysterious island looking for his sister who hasn't been heard from for a while, and there's a weird like religious cult thing going on.
They've seen things. Who are you?
Kind of a slow burn, but as it goes on, like, so it ramps up a bit, it gets violent, it gets kind of supernatural. But yeah, it's really cool, really dark, definitely recommend it. Okay, my number 8. I know we're all sort of done with superhero movies. Superhero fatigue is setting in, you know, all that. But this is slightly different. I'm talking about one you might not have heard of. It just got released on Netflix. It's Psychokinesis, brought to us by the director of Train to Busan. This one is what I think is an amazing take on the superhero kind of genre. It's more about it's more like a story of redemption for a kind of deadbeat dad who hasn't seen his daughter in a while. But then some troubles come up with her, and you know she really needs some help. He gets involved, and he somehow gets some superpowers, and then stuff goes on. And I won't fully spoil this one because I think you should definitely check it out on Netflix. It's still on Netflix at the moment. Just a really cool, really sweet as well. Kind of tugs at the heartstrings a little bit, and yeah, I love it. It has a special place for me right here. My number 7 is this is from a director who has a special place in my heart, and that's Wes Anderson. So of course I'm talking about Isle of Dogs. Now this film, the animation for starters is absolutely amazing. We saw this. Oh hey Jeff, how's it going, buddy? Hey, I love dogs. Like I say, the animation is it's amazing. We saw it before with The Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is a film I also loved. But this is just, I possibly prefer this to that. I don't know, it's hard to say. This is just a film set sometime in the future where dogs, there's an outbreak of this canine flu. So all dogs are shipped off to this garbage island, and there's a little boy whose dog is sent away, and he just wants to get his dog back. He wants his best friend back. So he goes on an adventure to this island, and all sorts of hijinks ensue, and he meets up with an amazing cast of dogs, all great voice actors.
Spot, if he's alive, may very well be living, even at this moment, as a captive prisoner.
And again, this is just one of those it's a really sweet story, about love and friendship and all those kind of things. And like I say, it looks $1 million, and the classic, Wes Anderson framing of every single shot, which I love. So yeah, my number 7, Isle of Dogs.
Wow.
Now, my number 6. We spoke about Gareth Evans and The Raid before. Not a Gareth Evans film, but a lot of the Raid cast and crew. Another Netflix film, talking about The Night Comes For Us. This film is just non-stop kick-ass action, literally the whole way through. That's my jam right there. I just love the gore, the violence, there's some really cool, fight choreography and cinematography to go together. It looks fucking cool. Excuse my language. It really does though. It's just one of those, it doesn't have, that slick, polished look that you would expect to see if it were a Gareth Evans, production. But it's like I say, it's just kick-ass. And it's a classic story, bad guy turns good to help save some innocent. And then, he has to be stopped by all the other bad guys. But he's not going to let that happen. So you can imagine how that all goes down at the end. But yeah, like I say, really cool. Super kick-ass. Definitely check it out. Number 5. I know we talked about superhero films and all that before, but I couldn't not put this on the list. However, it is my second and last animated film on this list. This is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah! Woo-hoo! I like that movie.
They know what I'm talking about. This film, again, like I was saying with the animation in Isle of Dogs, it's just this is probably even better animation-wise, I think. Just so cool to look at. The different animation styles, again, there's just lots of color, lots going on. It looked spectacular, it looked amazing, and all the other Spider-Man words. I really liked the different styles, the different animation styles coming together in a scene, and all the characters now. This is possibly the coolest part of the film. Now, some people are Spider-Man purists. They only want their Peter Parker, that's it. They don't care for the other Spider-Mans, Spider-Men, Spider-People. I just thought it was really great to see all the different, you've got Spider-Man Noir, voiced by Nick Cage. How cool is that? Nick Cage. We've got Peter Porker, which is just a talking pig with Spider-Man abilities. That's just silly.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak him out.
And he was voiced by John Mulaney, who I bloody love as a comedian, so that was good to see. Not what I expected, a super emotional film as well. It gets really dark, and obviously the main character being Miles Morales, he's actually got quite an interesting story on his side of the whole family thing as well, which I won't go into again. I don't want to spoil too much, but you should definitely... What is going on back here?
Wait, what?
My number 4, another kick-ass film, and this is Upgrade. Now, this is brought to us by... You know what, Kyle? This film is the bomb. Am I right? Oh, he's...
Oh, dear God.
I definitely saw a penis. So this is directed by Lee Wanell, Australia's own Lee Wanell, who I don't think had a great directorial debut success with Insidious 3, I believe, but I feel like this time he really nailed it. Like, this is one of those films that I feel like is tailored for someone like me. There's cool action, there's blood when there's blood, there's a cool mystery in there as well.
We have a knife too. You now have full control again, Gray.
What I really think made this film, and Tom, who's behind the camera, you can't see him, but I saw it with him, and we both kind of agreed at the end of the film that they just went in the perfect direction. Like, it had a really bad chance of going somewhere that would have made the whole film just fall apart. But yeah, it ended on a really cool note, and I think that's one of the best features of the film was the ending. But yeah, again, it's got some great cinematography in here, some really cool stuff, especially when it comes to the action. But yeah, I definitely suggest checking that one out if you want to see just a really cool take on the sci-fi thriller genre.
We are going to finish the job we started.
So my number 3, and here's where things get pretty wild. We're talking Mandy. Nick Cage just going.
Oh, Mandy!
Yeah.
Mandy! We're on the bench!
It's just insane. It's one of the coolest, just most ludicrous revenge flicks I've ever seen, and quite frankly, spoilers, guys. Honestly, one of the greatest Nick Cage performances you'll ever see, and like a genuine one as well. Not just like silly, but it is silly, but it's also really cool. Like I say, it is just wild. I don't even know how to describe it's like Mad Max on meth meets all sorts of nonsense, but yeah, you should, I feel like this is going to be one of those films that's going to just accumulate. It already has probably just a massive cult following. But you should definitely get on the bandwagon of Mandy though. This film is bonkers. Now, my number 2, and this one I feel is just like one of the purest forms of like horror I've seen in a while, and this is Hereditary. This is just such a cool film. Like, it's genuinely terrifying, but it also serves, as like a family drama, and it deals with like mental illness and that kind of thing. Obviously, it's in the name, Hereditary. But yeah, it really is just one of the best horror films I've seen probably ever. And it's kind of a slow burn, but without feeling like it's too slow and boring. It really ramps up towards the end and just goes balls to the wall, like horror lunacy at the end there. It has a really cool finale. Again, great performances. Toni Collette is amazing in this, and she deserves more recognition for this film if she's not already receiving enough. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Like I say, genuinely terrifying. There's some really cool moments that just come out of nowhere, just then surprise you, as well as just moments of pure like tension, either whether it's dialogue or just moments of the looks and glances, that kind of thing. But yeah, really terrifying stuff. So check out Hereditary.
I just don't want to put any more stress on my family.
All right, the number 1, the pièce de résistance. For me, anyway, personally, this is A Quiet Place. This film, this is probably the only film I've been in the cinema and like actually feeling the experience that the film, is meant to give you as an audience member. Everyone in the film was silent when they needed to be silent. I was literally on the edge of my seat. I was scared to eat my popcorn. I didn't want to drink my frozen Coke. It's going to be too loud. But not just because the film itself was quiet, but because, you're genuinely in that moment of suspense and terror with the family. John Krasinski, what a guy to come out with his directorial debut, am I right? I mean, we know him from The Office, we love that guy, he's done some great films as well, but like as a director and actor in this, he absolutely smashes this one out of the park. Yeah, like I say, my favorite film of the year. It serves as like a nice family drama as well, like kind of, it poses the question, like what lengths would a parent go to protect their children? Are you right?
What was the number 1 there we were fighting? I didn't hear it. What's your number 1?
Oh, it's A Quiet Place. And it's
number 2.
quite funny because you guys you've been quite loud when I'm trying to speak, so.
The irony!
Yeah, it's.
Why'd you finish your fucking list?
I don't fuck with you. You little stupid ass bitch, I ain't fucking with you.
I mean, I'm there. This is number 1. Check it out. Check everything out. Shout outs to films I didn't get to see as well this year, including Black Klansman. I'm really disappointed I didn't get to see that when I had the chance. A Star is Born, probably not my jam, but I hear it's amazing. There's a whole bunch of other ones. So apologies to all those films and all those lovers of those films. That's it. That's me though. What do you expect? I'm just one guy. Just trying to enjoy his day off. Hey, thanks so much for joining me, guys. 2018, what a year for film. And 2019, looking just as good. We've got John Wick 3. We've got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Avengers.
Chris, I've got to ask this one thing.
Yeah.
Why wasn't Rampage on the list? It's one of the greatest comedies of all time. It's amazing. The Rock, the Gorilla.
Yeah, I chose not to see that.
How come you've got Roma? One Critics' Choice Awards.
Roma? I don't even know what that is. What is Roma?
Crossover in cinematic history.
What's that?
Infinity War.
Are you serious? Guys, this is my list. This is my time. No, you know what, Tom? Hold the microphone. I'm kidding.
Oh, you forgot American Animals, by the way.
Oh, you know what?
Piece of shit.
What's he doing? Listen to this! No, you don't! No, you don't!